Welcome to Mysterious Encounters. Friday afternoon. You feel it before you see it. The slowing of emails, the quieting of phones, the permission to breathe. The weekend is coming. But have you ever stopped to ask, why this rhythm? Why 2 days? Why not 3, or 1, or none? The weekend is not natural. It is not written in the stars. It was invented, and its invention tells us more about how society controls time and how we reclaim it than almost any other structure we live by. Tonight, we break down the weekend, not as a break from work, but as a symbolic door. What opens when the work week closes, and who decided we deserve to rest? Before the weekend, there was the Sabbath. Ancient Judaism marked the seventh-day Saturday as a day of rest, a remembrance of creation. In the book of Genesis, God rests on the seventh day, not because he was tired, but because rest was built into the order of things. For centuries, Christians followed a different rhythm. Sunday became the Lord's Day, commemorating the resurrection. Work was forbidden, but it was a day of worship, not leisure. The idea of 2 consecutive days off did not exist. The modern weekend is a child of the Industrial Revolution. Factory owners in 19th century England and New England discovered that workers who had no rest broke down. Productivity suffered, so they began offering a half day on Saturday, then a full day. Then, slowly, 2 days emerged, not for the workers' benefit, but for the machine's efficiency. The Jewish Sabbath began at sunset Friday and ended at sunset Saturday. The Christian Sunday stood alone. The two were never meant to touch. But in the late 1800s, labor unions fought for a consecutive break time enough to recover, to travel, to live a life beyond the factory floor. The first 5-day work week was adopted by a New England cotton mill in 1908, accommodating its Jewish workers. Henry Ford followed in 1926, giving his employees Saturday and Sunday off not out of generosity, but because he calculated that rested workers would buy more cars. By the 1930s, the New Deal cemented the 40-hour week. The weekend was no longer a concession. It was law. But the weekend is more than history. It is symbolic architecture. 2 days. The number 2 represents duality, work and rest, production and reflection, the outer world and the inner world. The weekend is the comma in the sentence of the weka pause that lets the meaning settle. Friday evening is the threshold. The energy shifts. Social rituals emerge. Dinners, movies, gatherings. Saturday, in many traditions, is still the Sabbath, a day of stillness, of sacred time. Sunday becomes a hybrid, preparation for Monday wrapped in the last remnants of freedom. The structure of the weekend reveals a hidden truth. Time is not neutral. How we divide the week shapes how we live. Cultures that rest on Friday Islam, Saturday Judaism, or Sunday Christianity are not just scheduling prayer. They are carving a slot for the sacred into the calendar of commerce. The secular weekend, Saturday and Sunday together, is a modern invention, a compromise between faiths and factories. And yet it has become its own kind of liturgy. We speak of weekend mode as if it were a different state of being. We plan our lives around it. We measure time by its approach and its end. So what does the weekend mean? Symbolically, it means that even a system built on endless productivity must admit its limits. The weekend is a ritual reset. It acknowledges that humans are not machines, that the soul requires a pause, that creativity needs fallow ground. It is also a reminder of what we have lost. Before industrialization, rest was woven into the natural cycle, slower in winter, busier in harvest. The weekend is a pale echo of that older rhythm, but it is all we have, and it is being eroded. The rise of remote work, the 24/7 news cycle, the always-on digital economy. The weekend is shrinking back into the week. We answer emails on Sunday. We scroll through work messages on Saturday night. The sacred 2 days are becoming a memory. Perhaps the most radical act of our time is to protect the weekend, to refuse to answer the call, to let Friday evening mean something again. The weekend is not just a break, it is a statement. It says, my life is not only my labor, my worth is not only my output, I am allowed to rest. So this Friday afternoon, as you feel that familiar shift, the lightness, the possibility, remember what you are stepping into. A door that labor unions fought to open, a rhythm that industry reluctantly granted, a symbol that says, stop. The week will return. Monday always comes. But for now, the weekend is here. And that is its own kind of mystery.